Hello, everyone. Welcome in today to today's StreamYard video. Today's topic is: should San Diego sellers offer a mortgage rate buy down instead of cutting their price? So a lot of people have this question. If their home is sitting on the market, if they should leave it, um, you know, bring in a price reduction, offer a buy down. What's the best way to get the most out of your home? So thank you guys for joining today. If you're thinking about selling your home here in San Diego, or you already have, your home on the market, this conversation could potentially save you, a couple $1,000s. So a lot of sellers automatically assume that if their home isn't selling, the answer is just to drop the price, $10,000, $20,000, 5,000 price reduction, sometimes even more. But the real question here is, what if there's another way to make your home more attractive to buyers without, giving away the equity that you have on it? So today we're going to talk a little bit more on that. And, if you're watching live, just let me know. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I mean, shoot a comment on YouTube. I can see you guys' messages. If you guys have questions, always feel free to ask, and I'll try and answer the best I can. Um, so we'll start off talking about why buyers are thinking differently today. One of the biggest shifts um, we've seen, these last couple years, is that most buyers aren't shopping based only on the purchase price anymore. They're kind of based off more on what can they, comfortably afford on a monthly payment. Interest rates have changed. Uh, the way buyers have been thinking. Um, Two homes that are priced similarly can feel completely different to buyers if one creates a lower mortgage payment or monthly payment. One might have an HOA, and that can really change how the buyers view a home, even if they're at the same exact price. So this is why financing, incentives like the buy down have become a little bit more important and can definitely help you out. So for those of you that don't know what a mortgage rate buy down is, uh, simply it's just when the seller provides a credit that helps lower the buyer's financial cost. So there's generally two ways that happens. There's a temporary buy down. This lowers the buyer's monthly payment during the first 1, 2, or sometimes 3 years of the loan. So there's like a 3-2, 3-1, 2-1. There's different options that the buyer can have. So that can make a big difference for someone who's trying to ease into home ownership. The second option is a permanent buy down. So instead of lowering the payments temporarily, the seller helps pay discount points to to reduce the buyer's interest rate for the life of the loan. That one's a little bit harder to get, but the ones I've been seeing more often and more popular are the buy down. So just for the first 2 years, for the first year, or even up to 3 years. So, and then also just throwing it out there, every lender has different loan programs. They're all different, but they all kind of vary in that same exact savings of the mortgage rate. So instead of just lowering your home price, um, you can help them make the financing more affordable to the buyer. So that could also be more enticing. So why builders are already doing this? So here's something many real resale sellers don't realize, is that builders have been using this strategy for quite some time. So we've done some research, and I mean, Roxanne has definitely seen it uh, in her time. When you go and visit a new home community, they put new buildings in. They usually always already offer upfront, when you're buying this builder home, with lower interest rates, closing cost assistance, special financing, free upgrades, appliance packages. Why? Because builders know that buyers are focused on that monthly payment. So these things really help out, and can definitely push a buyer to purchase your home. So if you're selling a resale home near new construction, you're competing against those incentives that they're selling to. So sometimes matching the builder's financing strategy can be a lot more effective than just simply lowering your price, your asking price. So now let's kind of walk through an example that I have here on price reduction versus the seller credit. So imagine you're thinking about reducing your home's price by $20,000. Most sellers assume that that automatically makes the home much more affordable, but that's not always true. So because the buyer's financing most of the purchase, a 20,000 price reduction may only reduce the monthly payment by, a small amount. Now imagine using the same 20,000 differently. Instead of reducing the purchase price, you provide a seller credit that can potentially lower the buyer's interest rate, reduce their monthly payment, help cover closing costs too, and maybe allow them to keep some cash for after closing. So for many buyers, that's a lot more valuable than just simply paying a lower purchase price on their home. It's the same money, it's just used in a different way. So why does this make sense? Your home is already priced correctly. Buyers like the property, but they hesitate because of the monthly payment. Buyers need help with cash at closing, or you're already considering reducing the price anyways. So sometimes the best solution isn't choosing one or the other. It could be a smaller price reduction combined with financing credit. So sometimes it doesn't solve the problem though. So, I'm not just gonna come here and say that it's gonna make your home sell. A mortgage rate buy down isn't a magic fix. So it won't solve an overpriced home. It won't fix major repair issues on the home. It won't overcome some insurance challenges that the home might have. It won't change a low appraisal either. So that's definitely something that you can't change with a credit, or um, the buyer would probably have to come up with that, or you'd have to drop the price. So, and it can qualify someone who doesn't qualify for financing as well. So the buyer's lender also has to approve how the seller credit can be used. Sometimes the seller credit can't be used for certain things depending on the loan. So that's also something that needs to be discussed. So this strategy works best when the financing, not the property itself, um, is what's slowing the buyers down. So kind of to wrap everything up here today, my big takeaway for this is a price reduction makes a house cheaper. A mortgage rate buy down makes the financing more affordable. So before automatically reducing your asking price, it's worth comparing how each option affects your net proceeds, what happens to the buyer's monthly payment, how much cash the buyer needs at closing, which option is more likely to attract serious offers. Um, every situation is different, which is why it's important to actually run the numbers instead of guessing. That's why you have a team of realtors like us here at Pemberley Realty. We work with amazing lenders who can also give us some numbers and some estimates on, how the numbers could look like, and we can get an idea of what, if it's worth offering or not. So if you're thinking about selling your home anywhere in San Diego County, anywhere in the US, would love to help you guys. We have been doing this for quite some time. I've been doing real estate for over 5 years now. Roxanne, 25 plus years. So we do have a lot of experience. We have a lot of agents that we work with. Um, I'm going to go ahead and add here our information. If you want to call me, here's my phone number. You can shoot me a text if you have questions. Um, Give me a call. I would love to hear from you guys. I would go ahead and put Roxanne's phone number in there too as well. So feel free to leave her a text, shoot her a call with any questions. We would love to work with you guys. Here's our email. If you guys also want to ask on there, here are our handles for Facebook. Here is our handle for Instagram, and our website. I think I already showed it, but there's our website too. And if you guys are looking or watching this on YouTube, feel free to give us a thumbs up so you guys can stay in the loop, and then subscribe to as well so you guys can see all our amazing videos when we talk about these sort of topics, and then the amazing guests that we have. I think tomorrow we're going to have a pretty good guest too, and we have a pretty good topic that we're going to be discussing. So feel free to tune into that tomorrow. I really appreciate you guys joining in, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.